What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and I'm always joined by my co-host,
Delaney.
Delaney. I didn't know what her name was, so I'm joined by Delaney, and this time we're going to be doing a discussion of who is Kang the Conqueror, because the Ant-Man movie will be coming up in just a few weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
2 weeks.
hmm
And Kang the Conqueror is the villain in that movie, and obviously a big part of this Phase 5 for Marvel. So it'll be interesting to see what he is about. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So he's interesting. He's a time traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could get a little confusing with time travel. Time travel is always
Time
confusing.
travel is always confusing. Comics itself is confusing depending on what mood the writers are in or what decade it is.
Because comics.
Because comics,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was confusing, but I think if you sort through all the nonsense, there's an interesting story there.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off with his first appearance in comics, which was in 1963, which was in Fantastic Four number 19. Of course, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. They pretty much made Marvel, right?
hmm hmm
And in that appearance, we're gonna go over what that was, but it's interesting. He wasn't always known by Kane the Conqueror. In fact, he has a lot of aliases.
Right now, what I didn't understand was his alias is that because he has a whole bunch of variants, so therefore he has a whole bunch of names.
Yeah, like I think there are some actual aliases that he has, and there's also variants that go by different names.
Right. I was surprised that his name was Rama Tut because some random guy decided he wanted to be a pharaoh.
Yes, okay, so we will start with that then.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, King the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards.
A descendant of Nathaniel Richards, but his name is also Nathaniel.
Yes. Well, so that makes him a descendant of Reed Richards, but it's thought that he's also might be a descendant of Doom as well.
Yeah, which was super weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the heck? Like, how? Whatever.
Well, I mean, you get a big family tree, so
Oh,
down the line, one of Doom's descendants.
well, he probably got a million of those.
Well, yeah, probably. And then Reed ain't much better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fine. I thought that was a little weird, and I'm not sure if that's really important to his character or not.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't know. I think it's just like a connection that they have. Like,
But is it a
oh, this
connection
is
that
your
we need?
descendant. I don't know.
No, because I mean, think about it. Like
What
him.
if your descendant from the future came back
Uh huh.
and tried to take over the world?
Okay. But I mean, we're talking about this guy's like 900 years in the future.
Yeah, yeah,
I do not care if 900 years in the future, some descended from me turns out to be a bad person.
yeah. That's true because 900 years in the future, that's a lot of descendants. Like
That's
the
a lot.
branch has to go
Yeah.
pretty wide there.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
at that point, like, realistically, we're not even blood related anymore.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So,
Well, no, there's one that sticks, isn't there? Isn't there like there's like a bit of DNA from I think it's from the maternal side too that like just stays throughout a
yeah,
line.
but it's so far down the line, so mixed up with everything else, it wouldn't even matter anymore.
Okay, that's true. All right, fine.
So if you turn out to be an axe murderer, I'm like, I don't know you.
Well, you don't, I guess. So yeah, okay. But I wonder how they're going to tie that in with the MCU as well, because we are getting Fantastic Four, and it's just before the new Avengers movie, right?
I say don't. I don't
It's
think it's in.
definite. It's definite. Like if you look at his first appearance is in Fantastic Four, right?
Okay.
So I mean, obviously he's an Avengers villain, but he has ties with the Fantastic Four, with both Doom and Richards. His first appearance being the
hmm
Fantastic Four. That Fantastic Four movie is coming out just before Kang Dynasty.
I say don't because you're telling. I mean, I get everyone knows who the Fantastic Four is, but we haven't been introduced to them yet.
Yeah.
I think you only muddy the waters if you say, "Oh, by the way, this is your great 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 grandson."
Oh, I see. Now you're walking a bit of a tightrope there. Cause look, I get what you're saying, and it
Right.
makes sense. But then what about all the comic book people? and they're gonna be like, Kang is Nathaniel
I'm going to
Richards.
say because one of the guys, and unfortunately, I don't remember which video it was, but one of the comic book explain people,
Hmm.
he felt
Comics explain.
it was not, I don't think, I did watch his video,
Okay.
but I don't believe he's the one who said it, who felt like it was an unnecessary detail.
Yeah, it's fair. I kind of agree with you
So
guys.
I don't think the comic nerds, and in the nicest way possible, comic nerds,
Nerd. I mean, we're talking about it. So
I don't think they would throw a fit over a detail like that because I don't think it's as important as something as, Batman's butler is offered.
okay.
Like if you change that,
I
I
mean,
would
fair enough. Marvel's changed a lot too. I
yeah.
mean,
I think that's
so
such a small detail that doesn't really impact who Kang the Conqueror is as a character.
okay, all right, fair enough. Well, let's start off with his beginning. If
Hmm.
that makes sense. All right. So he's from the year 3000, as you mentioned, 900 years in the future, and he travels back in time because he wanted to conquer Egypt.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of his early conquering was just I'm bored, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to conquer you.
No, what this sounds like is you suck in the future, so you're going to go back in the past because your technology is far advanced, so you're going to have an easier time no matter how much you suck.
Yes. Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. This is not exactly because they're completely different kinds of characters, which is the same kind of thing that the Reverse Flash did with Flash. I know you don't know
Okay.
the DC story as much. She's like, but okay, so with that, Reverse Flash is from the future,
Mhm.
and he's kind of trash, but he had this obsession with the Flash, and I forgot somehow figured out how to tap into whatever. He got the powers, and then he went back in the past.
Was he the professor guy in the TV show?
Yes. Now, I mean, that's not. I don't think that's how it worked in the comics, but yes, in the TV show, he was the professor.
Okay.
TV show. Oh man, yeah, guilty pleasure, I guess you could say, because
It's
it's not good.
it's not
I
good.
won't say it's good, but I've watched it. But the professor comes back as a different variant every season.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just pointing out that the stories were similar.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so he travels back to Egypt, and that's where he was Pharaoh Ramatut, as you mentioned, which
Mhm.
is interesting. You think we're gonna see that in the MCU somewhere?
I'm gonna say no.
No,
I'm gonna
probably
say
not.
no. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where you fit it. It'd be cool to see a period piece.
Unless
What?
we get like an apocalypse origin.
They could do that because one of the things he wanted to do as Pharaoh was claim Insabar Nur as his heir, which is Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? I think
I
I did. I think
mm,
I got it. It was good.
okay.
Okay. But he wanted to claim Apocalypse, which is the first mutant. Is
Yes.
he actually the first mutant? They always say it.
Well, I would say yes, right? Because I mean, he's in ancient Egypt.
Hmm.
That's about as old as time, right?
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about beginnings.
I mean, I guess technically there probably was a mutant in the what we now know as America,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
But I'm fine with him having that claim.
Okay. So interesting. I didn't read why, but he wanted to claim him as an heir.
Yeah, I don't
Whatever.
know. Probably someone he thought he could fight or something.
Weird. But yeah. So as an apocalypse origin, that's interesting. I like that because I was saying with the X Men, instead of doing an X Men movie, and I think we probably mentioned this a year
Hmm.
ago. But instead of doing an X Men movie, it would be probably a good idea to just introduce X Men in different movies.
I think that's what they're gonna do. Like, I
Yeah.
don't. I think it would be a while before we get like an X Men movie.
Okay. Which is a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have had a little bit of storm action in this last Black Panther. We didn't, But it's cool. It's cool. I mean,
I mean, that'd have made more sense than some of the other characters they added into this movie.
yeah. Um,
I'm just saying.
yeah. Or so if we do a period piece in ancient Egypt, maybe you can get both King the Conqueror and Apocalypse in there. That might be pretty good. Mm, It's a good idea. We should write. We should write for Marvel.
We should.
I know Marvel. Hit us up. Okay, so then he's defeated by the Fantastic Four, who also time traveled back for some reason. Who knows why they were there, but he defeated him. And then he travels back to the present and becomes the Scarlet Centurion. Why? I don't know, but yeah, Scarlet
Did you
Centurion.
see that outfit he was wearing?
I did not look that up.
Ooh,
How does it? Okay,
it's
all right.
it's
Talk
it's
about
not
the
great
outfit. I'm gonna look up the
because
Scarlet
he's wearing
Centurion.
like red boots. Like imagine the Scarlet Witch, but
Wait, hold
on.
on. What?
I'm telling you, like we're gonna put a picture up on the podcast. Um, it's not a great outfit. It's like he's wearing like boots, but they're red, and then it's like a little red, almost cross looking thing, but it's like blue in the background. It's not a great outfit.
What?
I'm telling you, it's not good.
He's got like a Magneto cape, but his how should I say, his shoulders and chest is out,
D-
but then he's covered everywhere below that. Which I'm glad this is a male character. I mean, you know how they do in comics, but that is a weird. How wow. Okay.
Told you it was a weird outfit.
All right, don't put that
No,
in
we're
the
showing it.
MCU.
We
Oh,
mentioned it.
there's gonna be an Easter egg or something, like maybe the cape or something.
Ew, no, no, no,
They're
no,
gonna.
no.
It's
I
gonna. You
think it's
always
too
do
much.
Easter eggs.
I think the Scarlet, whatever his name is, it's just a one off, right? Because he becomes that and then he becomes something
Yeah,
else.
because he loses to the Venom. Kang loses a lot.
But he also wins a lot, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, if you got power over time, it's easy to do, isn't it?
I'm just saying.
So, yeah. So he travels back to the present, becomes Scarlet Centurion, and fights the Avengers, loses, and then tries to go back to the future. Um, insert Back to the Future clip or something.
We will do that.
I'm 80% sure
He's not
that.
gonna do that because he's lazy.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he goes back to the future, but he goes too far into the future. So he's not even good at his job. You
I
have
think
one job as a time traveler, and you can't even control that.
okay.
What?
I tend to disagree, but okay, continue.
All right, fine. I mean, like, how'd you go too far in the future?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so he goes too far in the future and finds like a war torn Earth.
Hmm.
So another easy to conquer area. So he conquers Earth then, and then he just starts conquering everything. But since Earth is kind of messed up, he decides to go back in the past and try and conquer a better Earth, which is why he's a present day Avengers villain.
Right.
Yeah. He also goes by Immortus, or Immortus is a variant of
I
him.
thought Immortus was someone who wanted to stop Kang so that then Immortus would be. I don't think they're the same people.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. So it is. It's still Nathaniel Richards. Immortus is someone. It's Nathaniel Richards who decided to go back to Egypt and live out his time as Pharaoh Ramatut. But he did it being benevolent,
Uh-huh.
benevolent like Odin was. Um, and then decides to live in stasis until he knew his past self would come back to the present. See, this is why time travel gets all confusing. So he knew he was going to go back to the present and fight the Avengers. So he stayed in stasis until his past self came back to try and stop his past. So, yeah.
We did not need any of that information.
Well, that's what he does.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, you said he went back to help. So it is the same person. He's
Okay.
fighting himself. He's
Okay.
also the Iron Lad.
Right. Now, see, what I found interesting about that is that Iron Lad is a variant who then decides that I don't want to be a world conqueror and I'm not going to do it.
Because he learned about his
Right.
future. Yeah.
Which then made it seems that, I don't know, super weird, but okay. Now, who was Iron Lad? Is he related to Tony Stark or is he just a kid in an outfit?
No, yeah, he is still Nathaniel Richards, so he's not related to Tony
Wait,
Stark.
Iron Lad is Nathaniel Richards?
It's all Nathaniel Richards.
I didn't know who Iron Lad was. I assumed he was related to Tony Stark.
And yeah, right. You would think because he's like an Iron Man stand-in, right?
Yeah.
But no,
Okay.
it's still Kang. All these people are
Well,
Kang.
that I get. I didn't know who Iron Lad was.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that he's like, oh no, he's Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
gonna be
teenage Kang.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who Nathaniel Richards is.
Oh no, it's
Besides him being
the
their kid, right?
that's Franklin.
That's Franklin. So who? Okay, I really don't. All right. So see, I don't know who he
Nathaniel is
is.
Kang the Conqueror.
That's all he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all these people are all Kang the Conqueror.
Okay. So there's no other mention of Nathaniel Richards in the comics.
No, I think you were right that his dad was also named Nathaniel Richards, but I think
Right.
that was it.
Okay. See, I was thinking there was a Nathaniel Richards that was Reed and Sue's son.
No, yeah, see that's Franklin, who's like the all powerful mutant ever and
Okay.
can do whatever he
Okay.
wants.
So they don't have a kid named Nathaniel.
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong. Comic book people let me know, but I don't
Okay.
think so. I think Nathaniel Richards is just Kang the
Just
Conqueror.
came.
Hmm.
Okay. Did I know that?
Yeah, there
All
you go.
right. Thank you for that.
I do think we're going to get Iron Lad.
That I can see.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
definitely going for a Young Avengers, and yeah,
Yeah.
will they do it after the
They have
sixth
to
Avengers
now,
movie?
right? Yeah. Well, then no, because then all the young people will be old.
Oh, that's true. It's gonna take too long.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, see, that's the problem with doing a slow build up to a Young Avengers movie, right? Because these
Right.
kids grow up.
Well, that and they're not kids. They're all adults playing younger people.
That's true.
So,
I mean, maybe they got people that just look young forever. Although I think Tom Holland's losing it. Like, not that he looks bad. I think he's losing
he
the
no, he
young
is. He
kid
doesn't
face.
look he looks his age now to me.
Yeah,
So, which is fine, he's 27 years old or whatever.
yeah.
So, as he should. So, I'm thinking you got all these people who are like 18, 19 years old. By the time we get around to a Young Avengers movie, they'll be 25.
Hmm. Maybe they'll just call him the New Avengers.
I would hope. Because I got a question. How old is Ant Man's daughter supposed to be in these movies?
Okay.
Because he was only gone for 5 years, which makes her at the most 15. That girl is way older than 15.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's not 15.
She's
Wait,
not
okay, so
15.
no. How old was Cassie in Ant-Man 2? She wasn't 10. Was she?
She can't be older than 10.
Uh okay, give her like 11 or 12.
There's no way that girl was 11 or 12 in that movie.
No? Okay.
No.
All right, so you call her 15 in Endgame, which is why I think the actor they used for Endgame was way too old. I was like, she
That's what
does
I'm
not look.
saying. They're all too old.
Yeah, because she looked like a young woman
Yes.
in Endgame. The actress they have now definitely looks younger,
She's still way more than 15.
but Ant Man doesn't take place right after Endgame. Yeah, remember we've moved on, so maybe it's a couple years. So maybe she's 17.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
because I know like this isn't right after Endgame.
Okay. So
We've had a
you're
lot happen actually. Because look, Black Panther was a month,
okay.
a whole year
Well,
after.
you know what? You're right because technically Endgame was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
All right. So
and I
she's
think they've
18.
caught up with the
Okay.
time. The pandemic helped them catch their timeline back up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm thinking. I'm forgetting. Endgame was a while ago. So
And then
she's
yeah, Spider Man was the following summer from Endgame.
okay. So she. All right. So now her age match because I'm watching this. I'm like, this is not no kid. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair
See,
enough.
there you go.
All right.
Um, Ravana. Did you? Oh, you didn't have anything on Ravana.
I didn't because I was super confused because her name kept coming up and I'm like, man. That
Yeah,
name's familiar.
she did show up in Loki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot all
So
about
I
that.
do wonder what they're gonna do with her in that.
Well, Missy, that's my thing. Like, she seems to be a big part of Kang's story, but it doesn't seem like she's gonna show up in it. Like, we know she's gonna be in Loki, but she doesn't seem like she's gonna show up in any of these movies.
She she might,
You think?
maybe towards the later end. It'd be interesting if they put her in this one.
No, there's already too many people in this one.
There's a lot of people in this one. Modoc's in this one. We should have did a Who is Modoc.
You thought Kang was messy? Modoc is messy.
I am interested to in what they're gonna do.
But it would be great if we got a good aim,
That would be good.
right? Because we had
Are they gonna do
we had
AIM?
like fake aim in Iron Man 2, didn't we?
I'm in three.
Three,
Three.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like aim with the yellow suits and all.
Oh the. Oh my god. Those stupid suits.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it would be interesting. It definitely would be. All right, so Ravana, okay, so she was a princess in one of his kingdoms or whatever, and he liked her. She didn't like him
Hmm.
until someone was about to shoot him, like his generals turned on him, they were about to shoot him, and then she took the shot.
Hmm.
And from what I was reading, it said because she realized that she did love him, which I'm like, I'm gonna need to read the comics here because this is weird. He's like, you all of a sudden was like, you know what? I do love this
This was
guy.
probably over the course of a bunch of comics.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes a while to find out if you like somebody.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not that I'm gonna take a bullet for you, but
So he's she's in stasis and he's trying to save her. So he's
Mhm.
sprinkling in some little Mr. Freeze.
yeah,
And we get
yeah.
King the Conqueror. What information did you glean from your
So
videos?
unlike you, I think he is sort of a good villain for this phase.
Oh yeah, I think he's a good villain for
Okay.
Face.
All right, because I learned some interesting things. One of the things I did was I watched the Avengers Assemble episodes with him in it.
Avengers Assemble. Okay.
I did watch United We Stand. So
Oh,
trash.
but
So,
yeah, he was
oh
the.
my gosh.
That was my first introduction to
A
Kang.
horrible way to introduce him because it didn't make any sense.
Wasn't he after an obelisk
He
or
was
something?
yeah, exactly. And then they was like, it's like he's freezing time, but they didn't show him freezing time. He was like turning people into stone, but then there's like it's like he's freezing time, and I'm like, no, he just turned these people into stone. Those are two different things.
That's true. If they were frozen in time, they would just be stuck.
They'll just be stuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys aren't making any sense. But then I watched about 4 episodes with him showing up in Avengers Assemble. And that was thinking like, oh, okay, I think this guy's like, he's kind of cool. Now, the interesting part that I found about him is he doesn't have any powers.
Yeah, this is technology, really.
It's all technology.
Yeah.
Which then made me believe is like, I get, because at first I'm like, why Ant-Man? But Ant-Man is the only one left in the MCU who knows technology.
Yeah, also, the way they tied it in, and oddly enough, Marvel did plan this, which feels so weird because a lot of times I I don't feel like it feels like, oh wow, did they plan this? And you're like, no, they kind of just picked something out from one of the past movies
Mm-hmm.
and it just so happens to work. But they did because in the first Ant-Man movie, I mean, we've been talking about Kang for a long time. This is before Civil War, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Kang's little city was in the quantum realm when Scott was shrinking. People pointed it out. I didn't notice it when I watched, but people point like I guess they watch in slow motion or whatever,
Okay.
and it was there,
Okay.
and everyone's like, "Oh, that's Chronopolis," and apparently
It is.
it is.
I'm not sure they planned it that far ahead.
Or they just put that there, and then when they heard everybody saying it was Chronopolis, they were like,
I
"Oh
think
yeah, it is."
Is they put that there and then realize later on we can use this.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't have any powers. So all of his stuff comes from 40th century technology, but his armor gives him strength,
Mm-hmm.
which is makes him crazy strong. Plus, he has a force field that is like basically you can't get through. He's supposed to be super duper smart, which is how he discovered time travel to begin with.
Well, I think it said he found time travel that Doom came up with. Like it was Doom's time travel, and he found it.
No, that's not what Wikipedia said. So
Okay, that's what I read in
I mean,
Wikipedia.
you probably would look when I Wikipedia his powers.
Okay,
It said he was
he created time travel.
yeah, but well, because he was some sort of scholar or something, and
I would say he probably was the one that found out how to really do it because obviously nobody else was going back and forth in
right.
time. So
Either way, whatever. He time travels. So yeah, so he has his force field, he can make holograms and have energy projections. His suit has a 30-day supply of air and food.
oh
So I'm guessing it only takes 30 days to conquer a timeline or something or
well, I mean, if you time travel to Earth, you don't really need it. But like, what if you're in a bad situation, like
yeah.
out in space,
Okay, fair enough, I guess. His time ship,
which is a sphinx, or that was just
that
the
was
one?
that was the first thing. I think his ship is more like a ship now. At least it
Okay,
was in a cartoon. It was more
probably.
like a ship. It has access to technology from any century, which then just makes him more powerful.
Oh, from any century.
Any century. And he has a thing called the ultra diode.
I feel like there's probably something that it really is called an ultra diode now. Like,
Which is a ray gun that can make superhumans weak and prevent the use of their superpowers.
that's really vague. How can you prevent everyone's superpowers?
Look, because he has all of the technology. Think about it. He has all of the technology. So there's nothing he hasn't seen before.
Okay. All right. All right.
Right. Which then
Well,
brings
except for, according to Earth Mightiest Heroes, Captain America, because he was the one oddball, because
right.
he didn't belong in the 20th century.
Right. Which also was a similar thing that happened in Avengers Assemble because they were fighting and he was saying like because Captain America accidentally sent him somewhere. So then Captain America like he sent him to back to like World War II, and then he sent him back to the dinosaur times because there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Captain America flipped the script on him.
Well, Captain America's gone now, so we don't have that.
No, we don't. So I don't know what they're gonna do. So then this brings up the interesting thing for one of the things I saw, and I said, "Hey, is Kang unkillable?"
I think so. I don't. How do you stop him? Right.
Right.
The only way you do it is what they had in Loki, where one of them is like, okay, we need to control all the timelines, so there is no me that wants to conquer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because how else do you do it? Even if you defeat him, there's another him.
Exactly. And then there's the thing was saying that he has the ability to transfer his conscience into another variant. So defeating him doesn't even really defeat him. They said the best thing they could do is erase him from that timeline. But there's still other ones. And then there's the King of, or I'm sorry, the Council of Kings,
Yeah, yeah,
which basically they decided whether or not to protect the king or to get rid of one if they don't think he's, up to par or something.
right.
So you got that, which then it's like, well, then how do you defeat him? So think about it. He got a super powerful suit, a special magic ray gun, and then he can just transfer himself into another person if you get too close to winning.
This is gonna be interesting.
Which I was thinking, like, I can see, because at first I was kind of on the fence about it, but I can see how this could be something really worthwhile.
Yeah, well, which is why after I saw the second Ant-Man trailer, I was like, okay, I'm more interested in this movie now. They're like,
Hmm.
it looks actually really interesting, and I'm curious of what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and they hinted at that he has killed different versions of the Avengers before.
Oh yeah. Well, that was that line that they
Yes,
had in the trailer.
yes.
It's like, "Have I killed you before?"
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, there was also a similar line like that in Loki too.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting. Like basically, is they're not really gonna win,
Well, yeah. Well, in Loki, Sylvie killed him, right? And he's
right?
just like, "Okay, well,
Right.
now I'll see you later."
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. So like doing this research made me think like, oh okay. Like I'm now that I know more about him, I am more interested in this, and I'm hoping Marvel redeems themselves with this movie.
Oh well, Phase 4 is just we don't
Pretend it didn't
worry
happen.
about Phase 4. I do feel like Phase 5 is going to be better. I don't want to really get my hopes up. Like with DC, I don't really want to get my hopes up.
Are we gonna talk about that one day?
We should.
Okay,
We
we
should talk
will.
about DC. It has potential, but yeah, we'll talk
We'll
about it.
we'll talk about it in the
We'll
next
talk about
podcast. But so now here's my question: how is Kang related to the Secret Wars? Because several times there's like, oh, this happened just before Secret Wars, the new one, not the old one.
it. Yeah,
And when I was watching Avengers Assemble, the name of that season was Secret Wars. But I only watched that episode, so I don't know how it all connected.
yeah. I think basically he just took it was Battle World, right? So a better Battle World than the one
Mm-hmm.
we watched,
Mm-hmm.
we read. We got to read that. Um, but this time, instead of taking parts from a bunch of different planets, it was parts from different timelines.
Okay.
So that's how you had Old Man Logan and the new Logan. So they basically, it was a reset comic, and they used it to bring back Wolverine because remember Wolverine died.
Don't he die like every other year?
Yeah, well, he was dead, and they used this to bring back a Wolverine. And
Okay.
then, it also gave Old Man Logan a place to be at,
Okay.
And so you have a bunch of different variants, which I think we're going to get. So
How are we going to do that? We don't have enough heroes.
we're probably going to get some of the old people back, and then, they'll do
So
some
what? Captain
random
America's gonna fight U.S. Agent. You know who wins that fight?
Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah, sorry, Johnny Walker. That's not going to work.
What's is his name? Johnny Walker.
John Walker, yeah.
Don't call him Johnny Walker. That's a drink.
Well, he changed his name in the comics to Jack Daniels, so
Ew, come on.
don't.
Come on, comic. Can we be better? Y'all, when y'all made that name, you knew what you were doing.
They knew. That's an r/they knew. So, um, yeah. So, I, this whole area has potential. There are obviously a bunch of movies that haven't been decided yet that we're missing. Because I think there are movies missing out of Phase 5 that we don't know about.
Right. Only thing we know is that they did switch the order of Ant-Man and the Miss Marvel thing.
Yeah.
That was supposed to come out now, and they switched.
So we got Ant-Man. We have Secret Invasion coming up, which
But that's
I'm
a TV
hoping. I
show.
know. I'm hoping it's good though.
Man, nah. Because they keep telling we gonna get spy things, and we don't get spy
But
things.
this might be a spy thing. Look, I can't keep being hurt. Okay,
Okay.
we got a spy thing in Winter Soldier. Okay, so I'm hoping spy thing.
All right.
Eventually, they have to find a way to redo it. It's not that hard. So, I forgot what I was saying now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this.
Okay.
But we'll see how Ant-Man does. You know,
I mean, we know it's gonna make money, but whether or not it's
well, yeah,
good,
every Marvel movie makes money now. I don't think they're ever not going to make money.
I think they will not make money eventually.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you keep being bad,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
if you
stop going.
continue to have Phase Fours, then yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All I gotta do is sprinkle in a Black Panther or Spider Man in there
Just a little
every once in a
sprinkles.
while. To sprinkle just a little.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna need more than sprinkles. I'm gonna need because I mean, hey, this is my $15 on the line. Movies
True,
ain't cheap.
it's true.
I got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Yeah. All right.
That was it. Yeah. Just I think he's an interesting character. Honestly, he could be more interesting than Thanos because Thanos was always in the background,
Yeah,
like the after credit scene. And I think this is kind of different, where it's like he can really do some damage throughout
yeah.
the entire phases.
They pointed out movies he was going to be in. I feel like he's going to be in more
Mm-hmm.
movies, not like as a big
Mm-hmm.
part of it, but like we said, he can show up anywhere.
Well, the crazy thing
As
is, like watching a cartoon, he just pops up, and you be
yeah,
like, "Oh,
there's Kang.
this is a Kang episode."
So you might get some post credit scenes with him like reviewing the timeline. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I still don't know how Modoc fits.
oh, it's Darren Cross from the first Ant-Man
Is
movie.
that confirmed?
Yeah, you can see that it's him. It's him.
So he goes to the quantum realm
Hmm.
and he creates Modoc.
So here's what I think happened, and this is how I think they're
I thought he turned into the
explaining it.
jelly goo in the first one.
No, no, he turned people into the jelly goo.
He didn't turn into the jelly goo.
No, no.
Okay.
Which honestly was a better weapon than shrinking. I was like, bro, you have a gun that turns people into jelly goo.
Yeah. Like
Like,
that's your weapon.
that was an ultimate weapon, bro. Like,
Yeah.
nobody didn't see that coming. It's like, oh my god, the president's jelly goo now. What's gonna happen?
That's a very good point.
But yeah, no, in that movie, if you notice, and this is one I'm pretty sure they didn't plan,
Mhm.
but his he shrank down into the quantum realm, but because it wasn't controlled, his body shrunk first
Yes.
and then his head. And I think that's how they're explaining
Him
why
being.
he has this giant head and tiny little limbs.
How does Modoc have giant head, tiny little limbs in a comic?
I don't know. He's not human, I don't think.
Is he really just a robot thing?
Yeah, because what does it mean a machine only
Only designed
designed
for
for
killing?
killing? It's something like that.
Yeah. Which, where'd they get the O from?
Let's see. Machine only designed. See, now I gotta look up Modoc. Great. Okay. Let's see what Modoc means. We're definitely not looking this up while we're recording the
Of course
post
not.
podcast.
No.
We already know.
All right. So you're saying Modoc is Darren Cross. He was
Mhm.
stuck in a quantum realm for the last 15 years or however.
Yeah, yeah, that would suck.
Okay, and so he managed to build a super suit. Like, what's going on?
Well, if he
Oh,
ended up in the city rather than just floating around in nothing space,
he can build. Okay, here we go.
a mental, mobile, or mechanized organism designed only for killing.
All right, we forgot the only. I'm like,
Yeah.
where does the other O come at? Okay.
No, we forgot organism. We put only at the front.
Oh, okay. Organism designed only for killing.
Yeah.
Seriously. Who was smoking what when I came up with that?
Oh, they were smoking.
Okay. So you think it's guaranteed that Darren Cross is Modoc?
You can see that it's him.
Okay.
Like in the trailer because
Is
they show.
is his face? He doesn't really
Yeah.
have a Modoc face.
Well, you're thinking about the little real machiney one that you saw, right? There's a short section of the trailer where they're all walking out and Modoc is right behind them. He's not machine like, and you can see that is Darren Cross's face right there.
What do you mean he's not machine like?
Like he doesn't have the metal face when like the big part
Does
that
he
you
have a
notice
square head?
it's yeah, except for he still has that roundish bald
That's what
part.
I'm saying. He
Yeah,
doesn't have a Modoc head.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, we'll see. We'll see on our rating of
Okay.
Ant Man.
So so he's in it because he was already in the quantum realm.
Hmm.
What's Majig is in the quantum realm because he needs to get out.
Kang.
Yes.
How did he end up in the quantum realm? Is the question.
Does the quantum realm make sense? I think they use the quantum realm to explain stuff that doesn't make sense.
Because it's right. Is it because quantum physics is used for the because none of it. I think people use it because once you get to quantum physics, none of our regular rules apply.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, well, anything can happen when you're talking about quantum scale. So, and so it's just like they said in Ant Man 2. Do you guys just put quantum in front of everything?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. So then does Modoc create AIM? Because I really want AIM.
I know he's a part of AIM. Does he create AIM? It'd
Or
be
does he
good for
just
him to come out of this and create AIM. Or
but we already said AIM already existed. My
or
bad.
he can just join AIM. Maybe there's an AIM left.
But
Well,
doesn't
no, it was created by old fake Mandarin guy.
yeah. But then I mean he can create a new one.
True.
Okay.
You think people will forget about it?
Come on, it's Iron Man 3. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can definitely forget about it.
All right, cool. Well, that was our information on Kang.
I think we've helped people understand who he is. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. He's all you need to know. He's a guy from future, and he wants to conquer the past,
Lots of timelines because he has nothing better to do.
and he's pretty much undefeatable.
Yes.
They have a long way to go if they want to hit us with the feels like they did in Endgame.
See, that's the thing, right? Because you figured, okay, they're gonna lose. We know they're gonna lose, like they lost in Infinity War.
Hmm.
But right now,
I don't care about any of these characters.
exactly.
You know, who do we have that like you might have some attachment to with Spider-Man, Ant-Man, but I feel like it's not as strong as the Tony Stark
Yeah, definitely not. Because they've
and
always been sort of side characters.
yeah.
And Ant Man, and I know Peyton Reed said like he was like Ant Man always came out after the big movie,
Hmm.
so he was just like Peyton Reed said he didn't want to be the palate cleanser anymore for the Avengers movie, so he wanted this movie to be big.
He has a point because he
He
was
yes
used
he
for
was,
both.
yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, here's Ant Man. So so I get what he's saying, but even then I like Paul Rudd. The first movie I liked, the second one not so much.
People are theorizing he's gonna die in this one.
If he dies, I honestly wouldn't care that much.
I mean, like, it's not gonna hit me like when Tony Stark died.
It's gonna be kind of like, oh man, that sucks, you
Yeah.
know. Is
Well, but if you have a good enough writer, right? Because I'm looking back to the last Spider-Man movie,
mm-hmm,
and they did a good job of making you really care about what was happening in that particular story.
mm-hmm.
So if you have a good writer, they can still do it.
True enough, but I just feel like will it have the same impact? Because I can see them dying because Paul Rudd's like 50 years old. I'm sure he doesn't want to be a superhero anymore.
Hmm. Is he 50?
He, I mean, he's
Jeez,
aging
man.
well, but you know.
I mean, they always make the joke about Paul Rudd, but
Yeah. So he's like 50. It's kind of like I was gonna call him Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.
yeah, yeah,
At some point, I'm just too old for this.
yeah, true.
So you get rid of Ant Man, which is okay.
Because you're leaving us with his daughter, which I have to watch this movie. I want to see how she does. I don't know.
If she does great, then I'm happy for the transition.
Yeah,
But then you got to feel like Michael Douglas is out, uh, Evangeline Lilly, Michelle Pfeiffer. They're just like, we're not doing this anymore. So just gonna leave you with his daughter, who you know nothing about.
yeah. Well, they got 3 movies, so
Yeah.
um,
So I just feel like there's no one left that I care about.
yeah. You know what? I think that's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is these new characters need movies of their own? You got to think. We had Tony Stark for more than 3 movies, but he got 3 of his own movies. Captain America got 3 of his own movies. Thor before we got to Endgame.
Yeah.
And so now we're starting fresh. We need to see these characters in multiple
Mm-hmm.
situations.
That and the character introductions we got, since their movies weren't and shows weren't all that great, I'm kind of like, I don't really care about you
Yeah.
because they didn't really do a good job. Like Iron Man comes out, I'm all in on Tony Stark,
Yeah.
especially coming from the point where is I did not want to see that movie. But
What Iron Man? Yeah,
yeah,
well,
but once
from the 90s Iron Man cartoon.
I didn't want to see it. Like I didn't go to the theaters to see it or nothing. I think I saw Captain America before I saw Iron Man.
Fair. Well, you liked Captain
I like
America.
Captain
I
America.
didn't.
But everyone was saying like the movie's really good, the movie's really good. And then, they're gonna do an Avengers movie. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. And watching that, I instantly like Tony Stark.
Mhm.
None of these new movies has made me instantly like the characters that they're presenting to us.
Yeah, I mean, let me say, if I'm gonna like new characters, I like Kate Bishop,
And I like
Yelena,
I like ugh, man. What's that guy's name?
Shang-Chi.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, yeah. I was like the only other good movie in Phase 4. But that was it. But even then, we still don't know a whole lot about them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. So they're gonna need to show up in other stuff. I don't know. Maybe this shouldn't be an in game type deal. Like,
But I don't think it will be. Like, I don't think we're going to end this on like, oh, we're all teamed up. Because right now, I don't want to see you together.
it's true. We don't have any Avengers movies until Phase 6, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. So they got time. But I'm hoping they
mm,
use it wisely.
all right. Well, like we said, there are a lot of movies that Phase 6 are going to have in it. Maybe that time will be used to kind of build a rapport between some of these people
Yeah.
and kind of build our, um, I don't know, trust in them. I don't know what word to use.
Yeah.
Make that connection between us
Yeah.
and the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, we hope that you have a good idea about who Kang the Conqueror is now, and we hope you're excited for the future of the MCU so far, and we'll see how exactly they do. We're putting Phase 4 behind us and stepping forward. We've had three decent movies, and that was about it. So hopefully we get more. Um, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and we will catch you next time.